Hi guys, my name is Soumya Jain, and before we start this video on how I prepared to get a 730 in Gmat in my first attempt, let me give you a brief introduction about myself. So, I have graduated last year in 2021 from VJTI Mumbai with a BTech in Electronics Engineering, and in this August I will be joining the Masters in Management program at the very prestigious London Business School. So, before we actually begin, let me tell you that this video is going to have three parts. The first part is going to focus on my journey, how I prepared for the GMAT exam. The second part, in this part, I will tell you about the resources that I used, and in the last and final part, I will be telling you about my experience with the online version of the GMAT exam. So, let's begin. Alright, so the first part is going to be my story of preparation, and I will also give you a few tips based on my strategies. So I started preparing in June 2021, and I would not say that I was actually studying or anything in this period, but I was just going through the various resources and I was just trying to understand the pattern of the GMAT exam. And in my opinion, this is a very important step, because unless and until you don't understand the pattern of the exam, the algorithm that is being run in the exam, you will not be able to reach your target score. And let me tell you why. Every exam is different, and so is GMAT. So if you compare the Indian competitive exams that we Indians are very used to giving, you will think that okay, I should attempt a few questions that I really know, and then I should take a calculated risk to attempt the questions that I know slightly, or that I'm a little unsure of, but I may be able to get the answer. So that is not something that you do in the GMAT exam. In GMAT, if you don't attempt a question, then it will very drastically impact your score in a negative way. So if you don't research the exam properly, and if you don't understand how the questions are being asked and what you're supposed to do to increase your score, you will not be able to achieve your targets no matter how hard you work. So it's not just about working hard, it's about working smart and working hard. Okay, so that is what I did in June. I just went through the resources, I watched a lot of videos, I read a lot about the exam, and I tried to understand, not understood, tried to understand how I will be able to reach my target score, which was 700 plus. So that's all I did in June, because June was also a month when I graduated, and you know how it is. We don't really feel like studying again, at least for quite some time. So it was a relaxing period where I also decided how to approach the exam. Then came July, where I couldn't do anything much because of personal reasons. But then in August, from the very first day of August, I started preparing for the exam dedicatedly. So on the first day, I solved one full mock and also one mini mock, just to see where I stand in the exam and to analyze which topics I would really need to work on to improve my score. So after this, I started preparing and studying the cons and the verbal section. I did not do any practice of AWA, and I did not study anything for the IR section. I just focused on the cons and the verbal section, and every week I tried to solve at least one full mock. So by the end of August, I reached the score of 700, and that is why I also booked a slot for my exam in the month of September. Then in the month of September, I actually started preparing for the AWA section and the IR section, and I also started giving only full mocks instead of practicing individual questions of cons and verbal section. So in the last 3 mocks that I had given, I had consistently scored a 730. So my key takeaway from this would be that unless you're very lucky, you will not be able to score higher than the score that you are achieving in your mock exams. Okay, the score that you're consistently getting, you will only get a score in that range in the final exam, and there is a probability that you may even score lower than that. So unless you're very sure, don't go and book your slot before you are confident that you will get the score that you want to achieve. Don't think that I will do it in the final exam. You won't be able to do it if you're not being able to do it in the mocks. Okay, so that's my story, how I prepared and how I studied. Now in detail, I will tell you about the resources. So now we'll be moving on to the second part of the video, which is the resources that I used to prepare for the Gmat exam. So I did not want to spend a lot of money in my preparation, so I searched only for free resources. So in the beginning, I used a free PDF of the official Gmat guide of the year 2019. I will be putting the link in the description. Do check it out. So I went through this official guide. I read every line properly. I tried to understand what type of questions are there. I practiced a lot of questions that were given in the official guide. And then after this, I moved to the Gmat Club platform. So just note that I am not being sponsored by Gmat Club, it's just my experience. So I found Gmat Club to be a very wonderful collection of various different questions from different years, all present very systematically on the platform. They had a proper description for each question. They had a proper discussion channel where we could discuss our thoughts about that particular answer that was given. They had a proper reasoning that was given for that particular answer being the perfect answer and not any other options. So all this really helped me to understand things better and improve my weaknesses, because I could go and solve the questions again and again and again. I could just select one topic and solve numerous questions on that topic to improve myself, to improve my understanding and reasoning. So Gmat Club, I would say, is a must website that you should visit during your preparation for Gmat. And they not only have topic wise questions, but they also have sectional tests. So you can give a test only for cons, or you can give a test only for verbal. And they also have some mock tests that are available, full mock tests. You can give those as well. So that is what I did using the Gmat Club platform for cons and verbal. I did not touch, as I said earlier, I did not touch AWA and IR until the end of August, when I was done with cons and verbal, when I was very sure that I could score good marks for cons and verbal. So only in the first week of September I went and researched how to approach the AWA and the IR section. So for AWA, again, don't panic. Even if you think that you are not very good at writing essays, or it is something that you did way back in school, don't panic at all. There is a format that you need to remember. It is available on Gmat Club platform. You can remember that format, and then you just have to articulate everything that you reason from the question given and put it down in the points in your AWA. So it's not rocket science, don't worry. Once you get well versed with the format, once you start practicing, you will get a good score. So on Gmat Club itself, they have a provision where under the question tag, you can publish your essay and they will provide you an estimate score that you would probably get had you written this particular essay in the actual Gmat exam. So you get an idea of what you're doing right or what you're doing wrong, and you can improve based on that. For the IR section, there are 4 different types of questions that can be asked, right? So again, like I said, you have to first understand what type of questions are going to be there. So for that, I had downloaded a free guide provided by Magoosh Prep, and using that guide, I understood what type of questions are there. I then checked out the various types of charts that may come in the exam, and then I went and again practiced using the free resources that were there online. It's not very hard to find those questions. If you type free IR questions on Google, you will get a list of websites, Manhattan Prep, Kaplan Prep, etc., etc., where you can go and practice your IR section and you can ace it easily. Again, for free mocks as well, there are different sites. Firstly, the official site of Gmat, which is mba.com, it has 6 mocks. Okay, only 6 mocks are there officially, and 2 are free. So you can practice those 2 mocks when you are improving the different topics that are there in the exam. That time you can practice those 2 mocks. Also, the London Business School website, Kaplan Prep, Manhattan Prep, Veritas Prep, these websites have free mocks that are present that you can get access to only by signing up with the website. So you can check out how many free mocks you are having access to while you are in the preparation zone, and accordingly you can plan when to give your mocks, free mocks. Once you're done with your preparation and once you're confident enough, then you can go and purchase the official mocks. There are 4 official mocks present on the mba.com site. I had also purchased those 4 mocks only in September, and then you can give those 4 official mocks and you can get confidence in your preparation. So yeah, that's all about my preparation stage and the resources that I used. Now we will be moving on to part 3 of this video, which is my experience with the online Gmat exam. Okay, so let's begin with the part 3 of this video, which is also the last part, how my experience was while giving the online Gmat exam. So when you opt for the online Gmat exam, you have to download a bunch of softwares that are present on the website, and please note that don't wait until the last day to test the app that you're downloading. Okay, download it well in advance, troubleshoot it, and make sure that it is running on the last day. If you wait until the morning of the exam to download that particular app, it may happen that it will not run for some particular reasons. You will panic unnecessarily and it will in the end impact your score. So don't take such risks. Download it well in advance, test it as well, and keep it aside. Then you can forget about it till the day of your exam. Second thing is that you should not have any books or any resources near you when you are appearing for the exam, and this will be checked by the proctor. You will have to rotate your laptop and show them your surroundings. You will have to show them what is there under your desk. So in advance only sit in an open clear space so that you don't have to waste much time in showing them your surroundings and then at the end moment running around to keep things aside. Don't do that. And once you're done with these stages, then the proctor will give you access to the exam. So if you have a good internet connection, make sure that you have a good internet connection if you're giving an online exam. Then your exam will go smoothly. In the beginning, the proctor will let you know that you will have to inform them when you're going for the break. So don't forget to do that. If you're going for the break, then tell the proctor that I will be going to take a break to drink some water or whatever, and I'll be back soon. And come back on time and inform them again that okay, I am back now and I wish to resume my exam, or I wish to wait till the break timing is over to resume with the exam. Okay, don't forget to do that. In the end, again, once you see your score and everything, tell the proctor that the exam is over and now I wish to come out of the website. So they will clear things up for you, and only when they tell you, then close the web page for the exam and close the proctor app as well. So that's it. That's my journey and my experience with the online Gmat exam. And if you have any more queries, or if you want me to make some other video, then do let me know in the comment section. And please do subscribe to my channel and do like this video if you learned something from it. Alright, bye, have a nice day.